Hi everyone, how you all? I hope you all doing good and safe at home. In this online video session, we are going to discuss about fifth unit. The fifth unit, which contains three sections: hyperbolic functions, logarithmic functions, and trigonometric summation of series. Before I enter into the definition of hyperbolic function, let me have a small introduction about hyperbolic function. Vincenzo Riccati, who proposed the concept of hyperbolic trigonometry, and Johann Lambert was developed the subject, and they were denoted by the symbols sin hx, cos hx, tan hx, etc. So it has derived from the trigonometrical ratios, and David von Synax had explained there is a relationship between the circular and the hyperbolic function. Okay, what is circular function? What is hyperbolic function? Before entering into this topics, we have considered well-known familiar exponential series. Let me have the complex valued function z is equal to x plus iy. If I write it as the exponential series for this function, what will happen? It is e power z. E power z. E power z is equal to 1 plus z by 1 factorial plus z squared by 2 factorial plus z cubed by 3 factorial. For nth term, it is n. Nth term is z power n by n factorial, and so on. Replace z equal to x plus iy. What will happen? It is 1 plus x plus iy by 1 factorial plus x plus iy the whole square by 2 factorial plus x plus iy the whole cube by 3 factorial plus etc. The nth term is x plus iy the whole power n by n factorial, and so on. When I am taking x is equal to 0 in this, what will happen? It is e power of iy. E power iy is equal to 1 plus iy by 1 factorial plus iy the whole square by 2 factorial plus etc. What is e power iy? We all know that e power I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. Similarly, we can write it as e power iy is equal to cos y plus I sin y. Let me grouping the real portion and the imaginary portion for that. So cos y plus I sin y is equal to, we are having it as 1 plus iy by 1 factorial plus iy the whole square by 2 factorial plus etc. We all know that I squared is equal to minus 1 and I power 4 is 1. So according to that, we can grouping the real portion and the imaginary portion. So we are getting it as 1 plus y squared 1 minus y squared by 2. So that is 1 plus I squared y squared by 2. We know that it is I squared is minus 1. So therefore it is minus of y squared by 2 factorial. And the next term will be grouping under the imaginary portion. So therefore the next term of this real portion is, it is y power 4, because it is I power 4 is 1. So we are getting the real portion. So the next term will be y power 4 by 4 factorial and plus etc. And whereas in the imaginary portion, we are getting it as I times of y by 1 factorial minus y cube by 3 factorial plus y power 5 by 5 factorial plus etc. So we are getting the sequence, the series, the plus and the alternate plus and minus terms. Okay, this formula is known as Euler's formula. Now we are going to equate the real and the imaginary portion, both the left and the right hand side. The left hand side we are having cos y plus I sin y, and the right hand side we are having the sequence 1 minus y square by 2 factorial plus y power 4 by 4 factorial plus minus y power 6 by 6 factorial etc. and the imaginary portion, it is y by 1 factorial minus y cube by 3 factorial plus y power 5 by 5 factorial plus etc. Right. Equating the real and imaginary part, what we are getting it is cos y is equal to 1 minus y square by 2 factorial plus y power 4 by 4 factorial plus etc. And whereas in sin y is equal to y by 1 factorial minus y cube by 3 factorial plus y power 5 by 5 factorial plus etc. So that by these two equations, we can conclude that e power iy is equal to cos y plus I sin y, and e power minus iy is equal to cos y minus I sin y. Let me have numbering these two as the equations number 1 and 2. Adding these two equations, what we are getting? It is e power iy plus e power minus iy equal to 2 times of cos y. Therefore, cos y is equal to e power iy plus e power minus iy by 2. So, we are having the relation cos y is equal to e power iy plus e power minus iy by 2. Similarly, when you are subtracting these two equations, we are getting it as sin y is equal to e power iy minus e power minus iy by 2i. Alright, similarly, I can have the other ratios tan y. So tan y, secant y, cosecant y and all, we can get it from these sin y and cos y. So tan y, how do you get it? It is sin y by cos y. So we are getting tan y is equal to e power iy minus e power minus iy by 2i divided by the cos y term e power iy plus e power minus iy by 2. So from this, we can write it as it is e power iy minus e power minus iy by I times of e power iy plus e power minus iy. Similarly, we can have the other ratios. Secant y is equal to 2 by e power iy plus e power minus iy, which is the reciprocal of cos y. And cosecant y will be the reciprocal of sin y. So therefore, it is 2i by e power iy minus e power minus iy. And cot y will be reciprocal of tan y. So therefore, it is of e power iy plus e power minus iy by 2 by e power iy minus e power minus iy by 2i. So 2 to get cancelled, we are getting it as it is I times of e power iy plus e power minus iy by e power iy minus e power minus iy. These functions are called circular functions. These ratios are called circular functions. Okay. Now, let me define the hyperbolic function. The expressions half of the e power x plus e power minus x and half of e power x minus e power minus x are called or defined as hyperbolic functions of cosine and sine respective of the angles x. And it is symbolically, we can write it as sin hx is equal to e power x minus e power minus x by 2. And cos hx is equal to e power x plus e power minus x by 2. Similarly, the other hyperbolic functions can be obtained from these hyperbolic sine and cosine functions. So tan hx is equal to sin hx by cos hx, which will be written as e power x minus e power minus x by e power x plus e power minus x. Secant hx is equal to, that is reciprocal of cos hx, which is, we can write it as 2 by cos hx. So which is, that is 1 by cos hx, which is 2 by e power x plus e power minus x. And cosecant hx is equal to 1 by, that is reciprocal of sin hx, so which is equal to 2 by e power x minus e power minus x. Cot hx is equal to cos hx by sin hx, which is equal to e power x plus e power minus x by e power x minus e power minus x. So these are the hyperbolic functions and ratios or ratios. Now we are going to discuss about relation between hyperbolic and circular functions. There is a relation between the circular and the hyperbolic functions. So previously we discussed what is circular functions, what is hyperbolic functions. For all values of theta, we have write it as sin theta. Sin theta is equal to e power I theta minus e power minus I theta by 2i. This is, we have done it for the previous case, which is cos y is equal to e power iy plus e power minus iy by 2 and sin y is equal to e power iy minus e power minus iy by 2i. And similarly, that will be written as in terms of theta. Y will be replacing by theta. What will happen? That is sin theta is equal to e power I theta minus e power minus I theta by 2i. Cos theta is equal to e power I theta plus e power minus I theta by 2. Taking theta is equal to ix in these two equations, in first equations, let me consider that will be the equations 1 and 2. Let me substitute theta is equal to ix in equation 1. What will happen? It is sin ix equal to e power I of ix minus e power minus I of ix. So we all know that it is I square is equal to minus x. So therefore it is of e power minus x minus e power x. In the left hand side we are getting it as sin ix is equal to e power minus x minus e power x by 2i. Taking minus is common. And that will be written as e power x minus e power minus x by 2. What is minus? Minus can be replaced by I squared, isn't it? So then we are having it as minus will be replaced by I squared, and in the denominator we have 2i. So that I squared and I is cancelling, getting cancelled. Then we are getting it as I by 2 times of e power x minus e power minus x. And in the left hand side we are having sin ix. So therefore sin ix is equal to I by 2 into e power x minus e power minus x. So what is this? E power x minus e power minus x by 2 will be written as sin hx. This is by the definition. So the definition says that it is sin hx is equal to e power x minus e power minus x by 2. Then I can replace it here. E power x minus e power minus x by 2 will be sin hx. Therefore we are getting it as sin ix is equal to I times of sin hx. So this is the relationship between the circular function and the hyperbolic function of the sine function. Okay. All right. Similarly, we can have the same argument in the second equations. Theta is equal to, taking theta is equal to ix. What will happen? It is cos ix is equal to e power I times of ix plus e power of minus I times of ix by 2. I squared is minus 1, so therefore it is e power minus x plus e power x by 2. So what this is nothing but it is cos hx. So therefore directly we are getting it as cos ix is equal to cos hx. By the above argument we can have tan ix is equal to sin ix by cos ix. So sin ix we know that it is I sin hx divided by cos ix is equal to cos hx. So therefore this is, we can write it as tan ix is equal to I tan hx. And similarly we can write it as other ratios. Secant ix will be written as 1 by the reciprocal of, that is reciprocal of cos ix. So that is 1 by cos ix, which is equal to 1 by cos hx. So which is nothing but secant hx. Cosecant ix is equal to, which is nothing but it is reciprocal of sin ix. So it is 1 by sin ix is equal to 1 by sin ix can be written as I sin ix. Now this is we can write it as, so for getting the preferred result we can multiplying divide by I on the function. We are getting it as I by I squared of sin hx. I squared is equal to minus 1. So therefore this is minus I times of sin hx will be 1 by sin hx will be write it as minus I times of cosecant hx. Is it clear? Now similarly cot ix is equal to the reciprocal of tan ix, that is 1 by tan ix. Tan ix is equal to I tan hx. So that can be write it as minus I cot hx, because 1 by I will be, we can write it as minus I. So minus I cot hx. So these are the relationship between the circular and the hyperbolic functions for in all the ratios. Let us prove hyperbolic function identity. We know very well trigonometrical identity, which is sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, and cos 2 theta and sin 2 theta and all, we all known very well. And similarly here we are going to prove the hyperbolic function identity, which is cos h squared x. The first identity says that it is cos h squared x minus sin h squared x is equal to 1. And let me prove the left hand side. Let me prove the result that we are considering the left hand side. So the expanded form, considering the expanded form, and by that we are going to prove it is 1. Second, we know that it is sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So put theta is equal to ix in this. What will happen? Sin squared ix plus cos squared ix is equal to 1. Then this will be written as sin ix the whole squared plus cos ix the whole squared is equal to 1. And this will be replaced by, so we all know that the relationship between the circular and the hyperbolic function. From that we can write as it is I sin hx. Sin ix is equal to I sin hx. So therefore it is I sin hx the whole squared plus cos hx the whole squared equal to 1. What is I squared? I squared is equal to minus sin h squared x plus cos h squared x equal to 1. Then this can be rewritten as it is cos h squared x minus sin h squared x is equal to 1. So we through. The next result is cos h2x equal to cos h squared x plus sin h squared x. And we know that trigonometrical identity says that it is cos 2 theta is equal to cos square theta minus sin square theta. And using this we are going to prove the hyperbolic identity. So put theta is equal to ix in this. Cos 2 times of ix equal to cos squared of ix minus sin squared of ix. What will happen? Cos 2 times of ix will be replaced by cos h of 2x equal to, and cos h squared x minus I sin hx the whole square. Isn't it? Because cos ix will be cos hx, sin ix will be I sin hx. So therefore it is cos h squared x minus I sin hx the whole square. So and here I squared is equal to minus 1. So minus into minus plus. So therefore we are getting it as cos h2x equal to cos h squared x plus sin h squared x. So the third result, secant h squared x plus tan h squared x is equal to 1. And consider the left hand side, secant h squared x plus tan h squared x. And this will be, here we are going to have the left hand side result and trying to prove the right hand side result. We are not taking the previous two cases. We are taking the trigonometrical identity. Using that we are proving the hyperbolic identity. And in the third case, this is we can prove without knowing the trigonometrical identity, only taking the left hand side and considering the left hand side we are trying to prove the right hand side. Okay, let me consider the left hand side, secant h squared x plus tan h squared x. So this can be replaced by the hyperbolic function secant ix the whole square plus tan ix by I, because tan hx is equal to tan ix by I. And this can be written as secant ix the whole square plus tan ix by I the whole square. So what will happen? It is of secant squared ix minus tan squared ix. Why it is minus? Because I squared is equal to, so here we have tan ix by I the whole square. I squared is equal to minus 1. So therefore it is secant squared ix minus tan squared ix. So and by trigonometrical identity we know that it is secant squared theta minus tan squared theta is equal to 1. So therefore this is equal to 1. And where we have started, on the left hand side we are having it as secant squared ix minus this is equal to secant squared x minus tan squared x is equal to 1. And we have started with a secant h squared x plus tan h squared x. So therefore that is equal to 1. Hence through. The fourth result, cot h squared x minus cosecant h squared x is equal to 1. Here also we are going to consider the left hand side, cot h squared x minus cosecant h squared x, and this will be written as cot hx will be written as minus cot ix by I. And therefore we can replacing it by cot ix by minus I the whole square. And similarly cosecant ix is equal to minus I cosecant hx. So therefore cosecant hx is equal to cosecant ix by minus I. Now squaring the terms, we are getting it as cot squared ix by minus 1 Why it is minus 1? Because when you are squaring it, minus will be plus, I squared will be minus 1. So therefore it is cos squared ix by minus 1 and minus of cosecant squared ix by minus, because minus squared will be plus and I squared will be minus 1. So therefore it is minus cosecant squared ix by minus 1. So therefore minus cos squared ix and minus into minus plus cosecant squared ix, and this can be replaced by cosecant squared ix minus cos squared ix. Consider ix will be a theta, and by trigonometrical identity cosecant squared theta minus cos squared theta is equal to 1. So therefore cos squared ix minus cos squared ix is equal to 1. So what we have in the left hand side? The left hand side says that it is cos squared cot h squared x minus cosecant h squared x is equal to 1. Hence through. So next we are going to discuss about fifth result, sin h2x equal to 2 sin hx cos hx. And we all know that trigonometrical identity sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. And here we are going to prove the hyperbolic identity, the similar result. Okay. And here we are going to consider the left hand side. They only always we are considering the expanded form. So will we consider the right hand side? The right hand side says that it is 2 sin hx cos hx. This will be, we can write it as sin hx is equal to sin ix by I. So it is 2 sin ix by I, and cos hx will be cos ix. So when you are multiplying these two, we are getting it as it is 2 by I of sin ix cos ix. 2 by I of sin ix cos ix. This will be of the form 1 by I of 2 times of sin ix cos ix. So consider ix will be theta. Then this will be of 1 by I of 2 times of sin theta cos theta. 2 times of sin theta cos theta will be sin 2 theta. So therefore this will be, we can write it as 1 by I of sin I 2x. Sin I 2x. This is nothing but it is sin I x by I is nothing but it is cos hx. Sin hx, sorry. Sin hx. So therefore this can be write as sin h2x. Hence sin h2x is equal to 2 sin hx cos hx. So the next result says cos h2x is equal to cos h squared x plus sin h squared x. Consider the right hand side, cos h squared x plus sin h squared x, and that can be write as cos hx will be cos ix. So therefore cos ix the whole squared plus sin hx is equal to sin ix by I. So it is sin ix by I the whole squared, and this will be equal to cos squared ix minus sin squared ix. Why it is minus? Because the squaring will be for both sin ix by I squared. So I squared is equal to minus 1. So it is cos squared ix minus sin squared ix. And we know that it is cos squared theta minus sin squared theta is equal to cos 2 theta. And according to the trigonometrical identity, we can replacing that by cos 2 ix. Cos 2 ix can be replacing, write it as it is cos I of 2x. Cos I of 2x. Cos I of 2x will be written as cos h2x. Hence, we threw the result. Cos h2x is equal to cos h squared x plus sin h squared x. The next one is sin h3x equal to 3 sin hx plus 4 sin h cube x. And we all know that as sin 3x is equal to 3 sin x minus 4 sin cube x. And similarly, here we are going to prove the hyperbolic function sin h3x is equal to 3 sin hx plus 4 sin h cube x. And consider the left hand side, sorry, the right hand side 3 sin hx plus 4 sin h cube x. So that will be written as 3 sin ix by I plus 4 sin ix by I the whole cube. Right. This 1 by I can be, we can write as minus I, the numerator minus I. So minus 3i of sin ix plus, why it is plus? Because here I cube is, it is minus I. So minus I will be taking into the numerator, that will be plus I. So therefore it is 4 times of 5 sine cube ix minus I times of because both the term will have I, so taking it as common, so it is minus I of 3 times of sine ix. If I am taking minus as common in in these terms, then the middle term will get, the next term will get minus. So therefore it is 3 sine ix minus 4 sine cube ix. And this is, what is this? So we all know that trigonometrical identity says that it is sine 3x is equal to 3 sine x minus 4 sine cube x. According to that, this is nothing but it is minus sine I times of sine 3 ix. Ix is nothing but it considers a theta. So sine 3 ix. So this will be nothing but it is minus I into I times of sine h3x, or you can immediately you can write this, it is minus I sine I 3x. That is nothing but it is sine h3x. So therefore sine h3x is equal to 3 sine hx plus 4 sine h cube x. So the next one, sine h x plus y, and we all know that sine of a plus b. Sine of a plus b is equal to sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. According to that, the hyperbolic identity is sine h of x plus y is equal to sine hx cos hy plus cos hx sine hy. Consider the expanded version, that is the right hand side, sine hx cos hy plus cos hx sine hy. So that will be written as sine ix by I, because sine hx is equal to sine ix by I, into cos iy plus cos ix into sine iy by I. And there are two terms, both the terms having the denominator I. So taking I as common, 1 by I of sine ix cos iy plus cos ix sine iy. And this can be written as 1 by I of, and look at that, that will be of sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. So that I can write as it is sine of ix plus iy. And that can be written as 1 by I of sine I x plus y. I taking I is common, and sine of I into x plus I1. And this will be nothing but it is sine h of x plus y, because sine I of theta, I of x, sine ix is by I is equal to sine hx. So this is in the form of 1 by I, that is sine I of x plus y by I. So which is nothing but sine h of x plus y. Hence sine h of x plus y equal to sine hx cos hy plus cos hx sine hy. And the next one, tan h of x plus y equal to tan hx plus tan hy divided by 1 plus tan hx plus tan hy. And in the trigonometrical identity, we know that it is sine of x plus y, or sine of x plus y will be, write it as tan x plus tan y divided by, instead of plus, we here divided by 1 minus of tan x tan y. Consider tan hx plus tan hy divided by 1 plus tan hx tan y, tan hy. And that would be write as tan ix by I plus tan iy by I. And this divided by 1 plus tan ix by I into tan iy by I. This can be written as 1 by I of tan ix plus tan iy. And here we can have minus. Why it is minus? Because in both the terms we have I is in the denominator. So tan ix by I into tan iy by y will be, here multiplying these two terms, we will get it as I squared. I squared will be minus 1. So therefore 1 minus tan ix tan iy. And by the trigonometrical identity, we can write this, it is 1 by I of tan of ix plus iy. And this equal to 1 by I of tan of ix plus y. So this is nothing but, we know that it is tan of ix is equal to tan ix by I is equal to tan hx. Similarly, 1 by I of tan I of x plus y is equal to tan h of x plus y. Hence, through the result, tan h of x plus y is equal to tan hx plus tan hy divided by 1 plus tan hx tan hy. Yes. Alright. Maths is all about that, only of practicing more problems. Here I have given certain hyperbolic identities to work out for your practice. Kindly go through all the formulae which I have given to you and do it. When you work out more problems, I'm sure that you'll get more confident. So that work out more problems. Simply I cannot say go through the problem and yes, I have done. You do not know where you struck it in the examination. So that please work out more problems. I hope this session will be very useful to you. All the best. Thank you very much for patiently listening me. We'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.